What's up, everybody? James here. Got a long-awaited update, I'm sure. I know you guys have been clamoring for this. I'm clamoring to get it to you. But I wanted to walk through some of this stuff so we could look at it together. You could see it a bit more than the pictures, and I can explain some things. What we have here is the paper product. We're still missing boxes, minis, wooden components, dice. So they essentially sent what was ready. This is the easiest in the, there's a cat, let's see. Hi to Ezra. Oh, he's gonna play with the window right now. So they sent what they had ready, which is great because then we can go ahead and start digging into the review and start getting ahead of the curve a bit. But I wanted to walk through some of these items. So let's start with the RPG stuff. So here is our XP deck. This XP deck stuff is beautiful. By the way, if you're snoring in the background, that is Ollie. He is our bulldog and he snores like a person. These cards are absolutely gorgeous and they're just going to be great for your RPG adventure when you want to hand out some XP to players. And you've got the really big chunky ones up here, the four XP ones, which are great. So anyway, these are great. All the cards have a great feel to them. Nice little linen finish. Good feel, good snap. So happy with that. These character portfolios, they give me like the feeling of like I'm a kid again. Like they just have like, oh my gosh, here's my character and I've got all these things that, you know, I filled out my little booklet for them. And as we go through our adventure, like there's just, I don't know, this feels good to me. And this makes me want to get a character rolled and up and running as soon as possible. So these are the character portfolios. Find a way to set this stuff to the side as I go through it. Okay, our GM screen. GM screen is gorgeous. Like I said, you can probably see a better picture of it in the picture that I made that's on the update. But as far as like the GM having quick access to all these fun stats and rules and things that they may need, they're gonna be good. This art was in the initial is off a little bit. We're gonna get that where the art doesn't hit the creases. So or none of the words, I mean, there'll be still art back there, you know what I'm saying? But this is why you do PPCs, right? You check things, make sure they're exactly the way you want them. You'll never see this map if I unfold it on this this view, but the map's gorgeous. There is a picture of it, but it's big. And it's gonna be nice if you wanna hang it up or just use it as points of reference in your campaign. Then obviously there is this behemoth of a book. This thing is a beast. It is chunky. Now, this is the first time I've worked with eStar. eStar is, you know, the company that makes Awakened Realm games and Dwellings of Eldervale and things like that. So they work with Chip Theory, so they know how to make good stuff. However, the way that they do their procedures on this is quite different than other companies that I've worked with. So I've got a little bit of a learning curve. So in the way they threw some of the stuff in here, don't get too bent out of shape when you see bent corners and stuff. This was not packaged very well. They just kind of threw everything in a box, which was a little disconcerting for me. I'm not sure why that happened, but it is what it is. But if you look at this beast mode of a book, it's gorgeous. This is going to set the bar really, really high for future RPG books because she's a beaut, Clark. She is a beaut. And you've got 416 pages of goodness here. And you've got nice partitions. You've got, I don't know, it's just going to be great. I've only done a lot of one-shots. You know, I've done plenty of one-shot campaigns, but I am finally excited to dig into a much bigger, much longer campaign. Find a group that wants to run all this. You know, the table story got me really fired up about this in general. So very excited for this. Look at this thing. So RPG fans. That's what I have for the RPG stuff so far. The dice, they'll come later. There was another RPG piece in there too as well. So let's dig into some of the board game stuff. Okay, so you've got your rule book, which, you know, standard good old rule book. The way this is laid out, I think, is just the team did such a good job, right? Even this shows you how to use the book. You got your, you got your sections. It's going to be like, here's how the glossary works. Here's what you need to know to get started. Additional rules that you'll want to reference. Map books, tableaus are going to teach you more. The table of contents will make it where, like, what was the question about how the heroes attack? Boom, I need to go here, dealing damage. Boom, it's on page 14. They've set the bar really high on a rule book making. The team's good. The team's good at this. So it's been a joy to work with everybody and get this really dialed in and just get it, up and running. So I think this is going to help you get to the game, to the table quickly and running, which is important. I know that helps me get games played. Check out this. The scenario book is also a chonky donkey. And I'm not going to show you too much of this because obviously spoilers, but it's just, again, it's gorgeous. And I love our spiral bound, so you can easily flip this over, bend everything. Everything's just there. It's great. So obviously you're going to get your base rules, and then each scenario that we have and the way that we've built this campaign is you just kind of add on some new mechanics to each scenario. And sometimes you're going to reuse a mechanic from a previous one that you've already learned, which is great because now you don't have to learn anything new. But I think what people, or at least the playtesters, really enjoyed a lot was the different ways that we added things, but it was in small bits. So it didn't feel like you were having to learn a big, huge chunk of information with every scenario. It was like, oh, we're just slightly adding on a little bit more to what was already there. Scenario book looking good, looking chonky donkey. All of the cardboard components have a good feel to them. They have a nice snap, a nice matte finish. I'm really happy with the way everything has turned out here. I've punched a few things out for the photos that you saw earlier, but you've got a good, nice snap. The edges are crisp. The colors are good. The colors really all came out good. That's something we worry about with such a bright game is, you got stuff that's on your screen, and is it calibrated, and will it come out in the print? And all this looks great. And obviously there is a lot of cardboard pieces in the game. So, you've got tons and tons of cardboard and all of the characters, and we've got our player boards are in this as well. So they're big and chunky as well. Oh, let's talk about the dual layer. I'm going to end up having to readjust everything here. The dual layer turned out beautiful. As you can see, our wooden components will slot in there very nicely. There's no frayed edges. The art, everything just on this looks great. Looking like we want it. All of our pieces, oh gosh, can I reach it? Oh. Our player board, like everything's gonna interlock like we want it to there. It just looks great, right? And you got your solo mode stuff on the back of these. So very, very happy with the way all that turned out. I've got these close by, so I'll show you the art prints. Art prints looking great. So people who ordered these, you got some fantastic art to use. There's gonna be some fun ways that you can take this and make them do different things with framing and that sort of thing. Awesome. Let me get this stuff out of the way. Got all the cards. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cards. I've only cracked this pack so far, and this is our player pass. So you're going to choose on Echo the path of knowledge, or do you want to focus on the path of power? And it's going to give you a little breakdown of the type of cards you're going to see when you do that. And then obviously the things that you're trying to do during a scenario are going to kind of mirror some of those things. And each player has their own paths, 2 paths that they have to try to figure out which direction they're going. I don't want to show you. So I'm going to be really careful on showing you cards, because if I show you some cards, there will be spoilers. Like toward the back of this deck, there are some spoilery things. So I do not want to do that to you, because that would just be rude. Now, here what we can do, we can crack this pack. I don't think there's, obviously I don't know every card that's in this pack, but these are just player cards, looks like. Yeah, there's Ollie. He's doing it back there. Really going for it. Sleepy boy. Again, good let and finish. You can kind of see it there a little bit. Good snap. So the cards look great. Great art. I just feel like I just said the same thing over and over. It's just great. It's beautiful. Decks and decks and chunks and chunks. And hold on, there's more. And there's more. And there's more cards. And there's more cards. And there's more cards. So there's a lot of cards here, right? Which is why we said once you try to sleeve all of that, it's hard to make that this much cardage. Like this space, right, needed to store, we can allocate for. Once people put all their different preferred variety of sleeves on cards, it makes it impossible to say that they'll fit in the box the way that you want them to, or they'll even fit in the stores that we've built for the box. So that's why we went with the Immortal deck box, so that you can store these for, you can get sleeves that you know will fit them, and you have a box and you can organize them, because it is a campaign. It is a scenario where you're going to be doing lots of, you know, you're going to need that storage to make setup and breakdown easy for you. But yeah, I just wanted to show you a few of these cards. Again, I don't want to, like even right there on the top, I don't want you to see that card. I don't want you to see the card that was on the deck. So I'm going to put these to the side. I'm going to put all these to the side. A lot of cards. They're looking great. Happy with the way all that turned out. Oh, let me get this out of the way. A lot of cardboard. See? All the cardboard. Mini cardboard piece. Oh gosh. All the cardboard. Let me get this out of the way so I can show you the map books. Eek. Okay. Whew. Well, first, check out, there's the Kickstarter exclusive scenario book. So it's got our 5 bonus adventures. Again, you've seen these. They were part of the Kickstarter campaign, so you know what you're getting yourself into there with these 5 extra. Okay, so one of the things I know we've got to work on with this map book situation is the initial thickness isn't what we wanted. I think it would work if we wanted it to stay here. It would be fine. But I think what it's going to end up doing, because it's a little thinner than we expected with this initial asking, right? The initial offer that we asked them to do for us, it makes the edges curl up a little bit, which I'm not happy about for a map book. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out the best paperweight to get these adjusted, so that we get them where we want them. And so don't freak out too much. This is, if you see like, oh, the corner's bending very easy, like that's going to be normal. It was also packaged, like I said, very haphazardly. Again, I don't want to show you too much of these because it's spoiler time, but everything's lined up. It's going to work perfectly. It's beautiful. The system of having the binding on the outside of everything, so our map books can come in nice and flush. Like once you line up your pieces, will be just right. Like that's amazing. Love it. And once this paper is a little thicker, like we talked about, it will, all of that will sit down nice and pretty. But even like this, like I'm excited to put this on the table and give it a play right now. Like as soon as we get those other pieces, one of the things that we will be doing is we'll be running through the campaign, because we've got to make sure all of our reference points to when we say, hey, go get this card out of this thing. Like we want to make sure all of that is good to go for you. And if we don't, then there's a chance that, you know, we might miss something, or something we didn't anticipate, because a lot of this was tested digitally. So we need to test everything physically, and that's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm going to need you guys to be patient. And I know you don't want to be, and you're like, well, James, I've already been patient. You know, you've already taken longer than you said you were going to take. And it's true. It's true. It's true. Not gonna tell you that that's not the case. Oh my God, look at this, so good. Just doesn't make you want to go jump up in there and play on this in this world. You're not wrong, and I do apologize for it. It's not just me hand waving it. I don't want you to think that I'm just hand waving what we've got going here. Now they're not always going to be set up like side by side, like you'll see here. So like this is from the same picture we showed you earlier. There will be different ways that these have to be laid out. All right, so you get this book and this book going this way, boom, boom, and then you get our little half book over here. Boom, boom. But none of the edges have to deal with any of the spiral edging, right? So your map, when you're playing, is gonna be perfect as far as like, you don't have to dodge those center gut folds and things like that. But yeah, just quickly, like, you know, I don't want to hand wave it. We do take our time. We take our time to make it right. And, you know, Matt Laycock has kind of coined the phrase that the last 20% of a project takes 80% of the time. And I think that has a lot to do with why we're typically behind the estimated time of delivery and quote unquote, I'm air quoting, late. But at the end of the day, I know if I send you something that's wrong or underwhelming, then, you know, I've done you and myself a disservice. So I want all of our projects to be buttoned up, and, you know, we feel like the player experience is very important. So, you know, we spend a lot of time there. This is something that we wanted to add. This wasn't a part of the campaign. We added this recently, actually. We were like, hey, if someone at the table has never played Tidal Blades 1, doesn't know anything about the world, what could they quickly read? It's not a big, long book that just gives them a little, like, generally what's going on here and why are we doing what we're doing? And then, hey, if I don't know anything about these characters, let me get a little quick read on them. And again, it's nice, you know, it's not just a throwaway piece. You'll probably want to hold on to that, throw it in the box. Great reference cards, right? Here's an icon guide. Here's your hero turn, round overview, free actions. And then there's also one more just for your enemy turn overview and status effects and abilities. So between these two things, we feel like once you've read the rule book and you've read your scenario and you're going to, if you need to reference things, like 99% of the time, you can find a quick reference for what you need just right here or on the back of the rule book. You shouldn't have to dig back into rule books very often, but if you do, they're there. Then our player campaign booklet, you'll just give that a fold. And now you player name, put all your, track all your goodies on here, all the upgrades that you've chosen for your player. And then you're gonna have several of these for each player so that you can do it multiple times if you want to, right? I think we said it was 5 each. And then obviously this will be available in PDF. So if you wanted to print more out, you wanted to do something fancy with them, totally up to you. Oh, and then let me show you this player mat. This player mat is gorgeous. Now again, this has no gameplay, has no gameplay situation to it, but it's just a very gorgeous, pretty play mat that is about what you would consider the size of like TTC type Magic the Gathering mats that you would lay out and play card games on. The Cunningtons just, I mean, they just do such a good job with their art. It's just so gorgeous. Like that's a water world that I just want to go get into. So again, don't need it to play games on, but like I like to have this sort of stuff for like, I use it for my keyboard and mouse pad at my desk a lot. I have several of those for that, but that is, yeah, that's the stuff. It took me 20 minutes to talk through everything that we've got so far. So a lot of content in the game, right? Like a lot of stuff going on here. And if, you know, even if you just got without the minis, I mean, you've got a gorgeous, beautiful game here that I think once you play through it, you're going to be very excited about what you've got. All right, that's it for now. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.